Hello, Flosstube. This is Stitching with Sandy, and I'm Sandy. Hello, and this is my channel about cross stitch. I like to share the joy and journey of cross stitch, and hopefully I'll find a way to inspire you. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad to have you here, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with me. I enjoy visiting with you twice a month. Today, my updates are, since I last saw you, so today is Monday, October 24th, and it's been 3 weeks, and I apologize for being a week off, but I wanted to have a few things for you, and it's been crazy, and I'll tell you why. So in my life updates, first of all, we were in the middle of progress report testing, and then I had parent-teacher conferences. And in addition to having parent-teacher conferences, we had my cute little sweetie pies all in the morning. So I had 32 students for 4.5 hours every single day with no support. It was complete chaos, but we got through it. So I'm happy now. I'll be much more relaxed this week, but last week, boy, was it exhausting. Usually, we have parent volunteers, so I tried to rally as many parents in as I could so that we could at least for 1.5 hours have centers to kind of corral the chaos, is what I call it. But I did have on some days not. In the middle of all that, we had Red Ribbon Week, so we're saying no to drugs and all the fun activities that our school offers for that. We had Rock Your School Day, so we spent our day grooving and chilling with Pete the Cat. And if you're not familiar with those books, check them out. The author is all about bringing music into your life and making you happy. So we studied the Pete the Cat and his groovy buttons, and that was a fun day. And then in addition to that, we had a pep rally where the high school students and the middle school students from various groups come to our school, perform for us, and then explain that they couldn't do what they do if they were using drugs. And so it was a lot of fun for the littles to see the big kids who used to go to our schools be leaders. And that was so fun for all of us teachers who have had former students come and visit and do that. I got to see one of my students that was in my class when she was in first grade. It's amazing to see her as a senior this year. She's grown so much. So that was fun. And then they went home on Friday, and boy, was I exhausted. So I spent the weekend relaxing as much as I could. And all my progress reports are done. I had all my conferences except for 2, so I have a couple makeups to do. But otherwise, we're all right on track. And I love the feeling of completed conferences because I feel like now the parents got to talk to me in person and hopefully realize how much I care about their kid and their growth. So that makes a much supportive school year when you have your parents on your side. And that's what I always try to do. And of course, I love those cutie pies anyway, so just being with them is always a fun day. So we're back to normal today. That was great. It was nice to be there. The next update I have is got to go to Kathy Haberman and Lois from Lady Dot Creates, and Kathy Haberman from Hands On Design, if you didn't know who she was. The two of them put on a class in Modesto, California, and the class was called Wear It Well, and I will share information about that in the future, but I got to go. My husband drove, and a couple of my friends and we all rode up there, and we met some of our friends up there, and it was a wonderful time. So I'll clue you in on that in a little bit. Then while we were driving up there, I finally got notified that I got into StitchCon B, so I'm super excited about that. I was worried at the beginning, and then of course my friend PJ, who is going to go with me, was texting me while I was at work, which is hard to text when you're teaching, but when I had a break, I checked my text, and she was letting me know that if I didn't get notified that I was in, that there was a problem with PayPal, and so that I shouldn't worry. And so I didn't, and it wasn't until the very next day that I did find out that I actually made it in. So I'm very excited about that. Can't wait to have it happen, paid for my registration right away. I have to give my money to PJ because she booked our hotel room already. She's on it like that. And I guess all that's left is plane tickets and spending money. So should be a fun time. So if you're going to StitchCon B, I hope that you'll stop by and say hello to me. I know I'm still concerned. My Flosstube's like a baby in the Flosstube world. But if you do know me and you're going, I would love to meet you in person. I can't wait to see all the excitement. I can't wait to see everybody's finishes and just talk to people who have like interests. I'm really excited about it. And then let's see. Yep, that's pretty much all my whole time since I saw you last. So let's get on to some FFOs. So this week I have a piece finished that I'm super excited about. It was one of my WIPGO goals because I've been working on it approximately a year, maybe a little bit over a year. I started it when I began watching Flosstube, which I believe I started watching Flosstube this summer when COVID first started. And I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea on Stitching with the Housewives. And Priscilla, or maybe it was Chelsea, I can't remember which one of them was working on Halloween rules. And when I saw it, I thought it was beautiful. I really wanted to stitch it. So I ordered it all, and I dyed some fabric, and I started it, and then I guess I got onto something new and never finished it. So this year I made it my WIPGO goal, and it's now complete, and I FFO'd it. So let's take a look. So I had to go to a couple of antique shops because I knew I wanted to finish it on a shutter. So there's one that was having a big event, so my husband and I went to it, but they had either the shutters that were too big or really, really tiny, not the right size. But the one that I usually go to, I can always count on her to have them, and she did. So I finished it. I had to paint it black, so I painted it black. Okay, I finished the top with the bow and the little ghost tag, and then here it goes. I used the top free topper, and I finished it. I am so excited for this finish. Added all the buttons at the end, which really made the design come to life. And it's too big to show you it all in one, but I dyed it. It was 14 count Aida. I dyed it denim blue, and then I really wanted it to look grungy for Halloween, so I coffee tea dyed it after that. And I let it stay in the coffee tea dye for a long time because I wanted that nice brownish blue color, and it did. It really came out, and I'm really, really excited about it because it's finished in time for Halloween, so I'm excited. And that was by Lizzie Kate, Halloween Rules. There's 6 charts with 2 charts in each pamphlet, and then there's the free topper on Lizzie Kate's website. So if you're interested in doing it, I know they're available on 123 Stitch. All right, so my next finishes are not quite so big, but they are finishes anyways. one of my bucket lists was to do a three-dimensional object. And so I had purchased this last year when Hands On Design decided they wanted to raise some money for Special Olympics, and I signed up. I really wanted to do the donation after working with them when I was younger, and I wanted to do the donation, didn't really care what the pattern was, just want to be a part of supporting them. And so I did. And then with my donation, I was able to get the philanthropic pumpkin, and here it is finished. I'm so excited. I just think this is so adorable, and there's, believe it or not, there's 57 steps to finishing this piece, and it's because the reason why there's so many steps is because Kathy Haberman is so thorough. So she step by step shows you a photograph, shows you where your placement of your needle needs to be, shows you how it should lay, and every single step of the way she gives you a photo documentation of it, so that way you can visually see what it's supposed to look like. And I was able to complete it, and I'm so proud of this piece. I told my husband last night, I feel like this is my new favorite piece. Unfortunately, this is not a pattern that you can purchase. It was a limited time, and during the time that they were posting this on their website kept crashing, and otherwise I never would have been able to get it because I was on my way to work. Right before I left, I tried to purchase it, and that's when it was having trouble. I drove all the way to work, ran in my classroom really fast, tried to go on it again, did it 3 times, kept seeing the number of what was left, showing it decreasing, and then all of a sudden it said 18 left, and I tried again, and I was able to get one. But if their website hadn't crashed, more than likely I'd have been driving to work as people were purchasing it, because there was no way. The time difference between here and where she lives is so much so that most of the time when events are happening, I'm at work or on the way to work. So I was very fortunate. I love this pattern so much. I may end up making it again as a gift, but it was a lot of fun. So very, very proud of that one. All right, so then I had some pillow finishes I did for my dough bowl. This one is the Cherished Teddies of the Month, October. I finished it several years ago, never FFO'd it, and so I decided I would FFO it. And I love this particular fabric. It had these pumpkins stacked, and I thought, well, he's looking to the side. I wonder if I should make the pumpkin standing next to him like he's looking at him. And I love how it turned out. It's so cute. So I'm very excited about that one. And then this piece, I don't know where I got it from. I believe it was from a magazine. It was several years ago. I probably stitched this piece in, I would say 1997. It was a long time ago. And I used it as a sample. So here it is. It's called the Plaid Pumpkin. Okay, I finally FFO'd it into a pillow. You can see it's super, super tiny. Reason why I stitched this piece was because at the time I wanted to do model stitching, and they needed a sample. And I was so afraid that I would take one of my big pieces that I loved and send it and it'd get lost in the mail, because that happened frequently. And so I decided I'll just stitch up something that if it got lost, it's small enough that I wouldn't mind stitching it again, and it'll give them an idea of my work. So you couldn't have it finished completely because they wanted to see the backside. Because in those days, if you were a model stitcher, your backs had to be just as beautiful as your fronts. So I used this piece. It probably traveled to at least 8 different designers over the years, and came back to me each time and never got lost. But I got jobs from each and every one of them that I sent it to. So it really helped me come out with new styles of stitching by learning from these designers. And I decided it finally needed to be FFO'd after all these years. So I made a cute little pumpkin finish, a little pillow, and then I will probably stuff this inside one of the trucks that I have around my house. So, and that one was stitched on 14 count antique white. And this one was stitched on 14 count white. Sorry, both of them are Aidas. And then this one is also 14 count Aida white. And this one's by Lucy Heaton, and I have to apologize. A couple of videos back, I stated that it was by Doreen Jones, was the Little Mice, but that's not true. It's Lucy Heaton, so I apologize. I got them mixed up. This is her furry friends, Little Witch. Love her so much. I got some of this little black lace that I found at the antique shop and attached the pillow and just made a little pillow finish out of it. I love it. It's so cute. And she's such a cute little witch. And then my last one is a Prairie Schooler. I stitched this owl. It's a Prairie Schooler one. I stitched it on 28 count. I dyed it purple. And I decided to finish it as this little pumpkin. And what I did is I bought this little pumpkin at the dollar store. And look at the back. It has this little glittery poem on the back. Now normally I would have sanded it off and then painted it, but I didn't have any sandpaper and I liked the color because it matched the eyes of the owl, so I decided I'll just use the back. Nobody's gonna see the other side, and if they do, it says pumpkins, kisses, and harvest wishes. So it fits the season and it's just fine. And then it came with this little raffia bow. I just popped it off the back. And then I added an orange gingham and I put them together and put it right back on. And I love this. So I'll put it in my tier tray. And those are my finishes today. So let's see where we are. I'm gonna quickly put those back so that I can move on to the next segment in my video. I gotta get back to my notes so I don't get off track. All right, let's turn the page here. That brings me to previous giveaways. I did not do a giveaway the last time I came on because I had some that hadn't been claimed. I have recently claimed, some of them have been claimed, but I do have one left. And it was Country Cottage Needleworks, Cottage of the Month series. This is December. The keyword was December and it was awarded to Arlene Curry, or Curry, Arlene Curry. C-U-R-R-Y is your last name, Arlene. If you would like to claim your prize, will you please look up my email below? Please be careful. My email does have a number after my name in it before the @gmail.com. Pay attention to that because a lot of times people will try to email me and they forget the number and I never know that they tried to reach me. So if you'll email me, Arlene, tell me your address and I will get this out to you. Congratulations. All right, that brings me to my whips. So I'm working on a piece from Twin Peak Primitives. It's a really cute piece. I don't know. I think it's supposed to come out this year, but I don't know for sure. Well, I might be dependent on how quickly I get it done. So that's taking up some of my time. But in the meantime, it's almost Halloween. And of course, I'm trying to get as many Halloween pieces completed as I can or as far along as I can. So this next piece I'm stitching is a blackbird. It is from this book, Winds of Autumn. I love this book and every single piece in it. And the one I'm doing is First Winds of Autumn, which is, can you guess? It is, if you can see my background, you might guess it. It is this giant strawberry. I'm stitching it and I can't decide if I want to make it a giant strawberry. I kind of might not. We'll see when it gets finished. But right now, I just think it's so pretty. I hate to finish it up and fold it all the way up into a little cone when I want to see everything on it. So here's my progress. I just began the little raven that comes down here. But when I started it, all I had done was the house and the pumpkin. So I stitched the pumpkin vines, the little flower, the moon and stars, and then the two butterflies, and then this piece right here. And so I'm ready to work on the raven. He has a beautiful pattern in his feathers. I'm looking forward to working on. I love this piece so much. It is stitched on. This is a 32 count natural linen. So that's one of them. I'll either get him done this month or I might try and finish him for next month because I do really want to get him done. Okay, and my next one, this is my stitch along with Nancy Hauber, and we are stitching Happy Halloween by Puntini Puntini. Here's the pattern. And I am stitching this on a Fabric Flare Stormy Night Gray 14 count Aida. And here's my progress. So the last time that I showed you, I had completed the Happy Halloween at the bottom. I completed the fence and the raven. So now I'm working on the haunted house, and I wanted to get that skeleton done. And you can see the little ghost and cat friend in the windows, and then the 2 pumpkins on the grass. So my goal is to work on this all week in between this and Twin Peak, and hopefully I'll get as much as I can done before Halloween. And if not, I already told Nancy I don't know that it'll be done this year, and that's okay. Her and I can continue working on it throughout the year, or the 2 of us might put it away for a couple of months and get it out next year. Either way, it's not a rush. I'm really enjoying doing the stitch along with somebody. I know a lot of people do start alongs and they work at their own pace, but it's fun to do little check-ins from time to time with someone and compare how each other's doing. I feel like it kind of cheers you on and gets you re-motivated to keep on going. So I just shared my progress with her, and I know she's been working on hers as well. My next piece, which most people are already finished with, I did not start it until this weekend, is the Costume Party by Hands On Design. I would have worked on this, but with stitching the piece for the Wear It Well class, that had a lot of stitching, I put it off. So I just started it this weekend, and here's my progress. Not too bad for a weekend. I stitched the little shelf and the little pumpkins dangling below it. I got the jack-o'-lantern with the crow on the top finished, and the jar of eyeballs and the jar of poison, and I am now working on the cauldron. So I think I'll have this done in time for Halloween. I think this one will stitch up pretty quick. Most of her pieces, for me, seem to stitch up really quick. What I'm always in awe about is how much detail a little piece that she does has in it. It's incredible, the amount of detail in her patterns. So those are my whips. So moving right along, we are going into my update swap, an ornament swap. How would you like to do a Christmas ornament swap? I don't know. Make sure that if you're interested in doing this, that you can commit to it, because I know at the holidays sometimes things take the back burner. But remember, if you're participating in a swap, someone's counting on you to send them a swap, as they are going to be sending you a swap. So let's talk about the details. I want to do a Christmas ornament swap. I would like to have all the names turned into me by no later than Friday, November 4th. With the mail date of December 1st. And we really want to stick as close to the mail date as possible, because that way your partner will receive it in the mail, hopefully in time for Christmas, and plenty of time to hang it on their tree. So if you are interested in doing the Christmas ornament swap, what you need to do is email me. My email is linked below, or contact me through Instagram, that is also listed below, and let me know that you're interested. Tell me, give me your name and address. You must be 18 to participate, because I am asking for your address. And that's it. And then the rest of it will just be, I will swap out the partners. November 5th, which is that Saturday, I will send out an email with whom your partner is, and then you can begin working on it and getting it ready to send out. I think this will be a lot of fun. I hope a lot of you will join me in participating. All of our swaps in the past have been so successful, which is what prompted me to go ahead and do a Christmas ornament swap instead of waiting until January for the winter swap. So if you'd like to participate in the Christmas swap, You're just making an ornament. We're not making a small, we're not stitching a wall hanging, we're making an ornament to hang on the tree. You may finish it however you choose. It could be a soft finish, it could be a hard finish, but it should be able to hang on a tree. So please join me if you're interested. All right, so let's get started with Wear It Well. So I'm gonna share everything about this class. It was incredibly amazing. So originally, we were sitting at one of our stitch nights, me and a bunch of the girls who meet up on Thursday nights, and we stitch a Panera Bread. And I said, oh, did you guys see Kathy Haberman's having a class here in California, which never happens. We have no events, no local need workshops, nothing. So we were all very excited about it. I think I more than they were. So I said, oh, we should all go. That'd be so much fun. So then we were talking about trying to sign up for it. So PJ and I signed up for it. And then Barbara said, I signed up too. So we were all excited about it. Well, we went to our Temecula once a month stitch-in at Panera Bread in Temecula, and some of the other girls from there was going to it as well. And then we went to our SoCal Stitchers retreat, and we found a couple more people that were going. So it was very exciting to know that a bunch of us, all from the same area, was driving up to the class to participate. So we all ordered, our kit came in, and there was a lot of pre-stitching to do. I've shared some in my previous videos, so if you want to see my progress, you can go back and binge watch me if you like. If not, I'm about to show you the entire piece. So we drove up. My husband volunteered to drive us, which was wonderful. We only had to make about 2 stops, and what was supposed to be about 6-hour drive felt more like 8 hours. It really did, but it was enjoyable. We all loaded up. We went and picked everybody up, made our Starbucks run, and then headed out. And then when we got across the grapevine, we stopped for lunch. And then after lunch, I think we made 1 or 2 more stops to go to the restroom, and then we arrived. When we arrived, we all went to our rooms, and then we decided to go out and find some place to eat dinner, and we had a great time. Just hanging out. The next day is when it was all starting, which is why we wanted to go up the day before. And the next day you got to get your breakfast at the hotel, and after breakfast it was time for the class, and we got to meet Kathy. And I have to tell you that I have never been so starstruck, and that's how I felt, and I was so nervous about meeting her, but so excited. And I had a running joke going with my friend Jessica. Hi Jessica, if you're watching me. And her and I both love Kathy Haberman's design so much that we kept saying we wanted to be teacher's pet. And Jessica and her mom, Bonnie, got a front row seat. And so when I came in, of course, me, Barbara, and PJ went in. We took the other front row seats and only left, I think, 4 more seats. And so Jessica and I were teasing back and forth that we were going to be teacher's pet. And so that became our joke for the whole weekend. And the funniest part about it is, because we were in the front row, you know, Kathy would be explaining what is in your kits, what you need next, and what materials you have. And every time she did it, she happened to be standing in front of me. So she would pick up my objects and show the class. And I kept teasing Jessica, see, I'm the teacher's pet, I'm the teacher's pet. And Jessica was like, no, I'm the teacher's pet. And that just kept going along the whole weekend long. It was so much fun. And then when Jessica made a mistake or something on her piece, maybe she didn't do something, I'm not really sure what it was, and Kathy had to correct her. And then I told her, see, I'm even higher on the list now. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of joking going on, but it was a really great time. It was a great class, and Kathy is the most amazing patient teacher I've ever met. There were some people that were getting frustrated. She was composed. She'd walk over, she'd lend her support, and everybody ended up having such a great time and leaving with a beautiful piece. So I'm going to show you my piece, and then I have a little video clip of the retreat, and then I'll come back and finish up. So here is the piece. We made a box, and there is the top piece. Here's the funny thing about this piece. So I had all my pre-stitching done except this little side piece on the front. So when we got into the class, Kathy said that we were going to be doing the box today because we had to have time to let it dry. Okay, so I was like, phew, then we're not gonna finish this. I'm okay, I can finish it tonight in the hotel room. Yeah, no, that's not how it happened. So when it came to time to put this piece on its finishing to have it ready to mount the next day, of course, as everybody's learning how to lace in the background, lace it on, I'm quickly stitching these as quickly as I can. Wow, this is what a speedy stitcher I was. I stitched all of these on and laced my piece up at the same amount of time it took everybody else to get their lacing done. So I caught up as fast as I can. And I was so relieved because I did not want to lose my place as teacher's pet. I don't know why I wanted to be it. And here's the thing, the first day when she kept coming over and talking to us, I felt so shy because I was struck by her amazement that I was afraid to say anything. And it wasn't till the next day that I felt a little bit more comfortable and confident. And then I could talk to her and I felt like she was just any other person. It's funny how we find people that we look up to as stars, and it makes us a little intimidated by their presence. But I did end up getting comfortable later and talking to her. So I finished this, and then after we did the big piece, we had to, I'm gonna take it apart a little bit so I can show you. We had to complete the underside. So the underside, we finished. Here it is. I had already had this one pieced, but we went ahead and finished this fabric, and we made this pocket, and we hand stitched on the rickrack. I have never hand stitched on rickrack. I've always used the sewing machine. So I was trying to be really careful to make it look beautiful. And then at our retreat, Lois made us these cute little name tags with the cute little crown charm. I don't know if you can see that. And so I decided to save it in here. And here's our pocket. So that way I will always remember. What a fun time. They were little pins so you could wear it on your name tag on your shirt. But I've decided to save it. Although you could probably take the little charm off and use it, but I don't know that I will. Unless maybe she comes out with something else that I have to have. And then the next piece, we finished, we didn't put it in the box, but we finished this padded inside piece. And we finished that. We used some sticky tape with it. I've never used stitchery tape. I had a whole roll that I had purchased, and it's been sitting here in the house, and until last night I had not used it. But after using it here and seeing how amazing it is, I used it on my the Lizzie Kate Halloween Rules, and because the piece was too big to it was too big to use sticky board, so I had to pin it to foam core. And so my flaps on the other side, I wanted them all flat so that way I can then attach it to the board or the shutter. I used the sticky stitchery tape and it sticks so well. So we'll see if it lasts. I don't know if it'll last, but right now it's been sitting out in here in my living room for overnight since yesterday when I completed it, and it hasn't fallen off, so very good tape. It's working really well in here. The best part about the inside is, this is something that I learned in the finishing, is she gifted us these beautiful scissors, and Lois made this little scissor fob with all these cute little charms on it. And she said, since we're making this box with a needle case, we needed to have scissors. So what she did is I have to see which, oh, here it is. She taught us this trick. So we finished it with the little magnet right underneath, and that way you don't lose your scissors even if you're turning your box around. I thought that was pretty amazing. I've never done that before, and so that was something fun to learn. The other thing that I learned is sometimes it's important to put fusible web on the back of your pieces, and sometimes it's not. So there was times when some of our friends put fusible interfacing on theirs before they came, and it had to be removed, and this is this tool that I learned. Lois, who is like a genius in figuring out how to solve every problem you have, She took, the person had already had fusible interfacing on their piece. She took it over to the iron. She ironed it and got it hot again, and it peeled right off. So if you ever put it on there and realize you shouldn't have, that was her trick. And I saw her do it 4 times while we were there. So that was an amazing tip that I didn't ever know. I thought once you ironed it on, it was stuck there for good, but she figured out how to take it off. So we made this box. What we did is we painted with some acrylic paint, and we put it on and we dry brushed it. And the idea behind the dry brushing was so that you could see the green of the wood come through. So it's kind of like an olive green. And then what we did after that is we used a special staining. I don't know if it was a wax. I feel like it was a wax. It was like a staining goop. You put it on there, you pushed it on, rubbed it in really well, and then we used a piece of sandpaper, and we rubbed it, and it's really smooth and it feels really beautiful. We used that antiquing stuff along the edges. We did the paint on the inside, but then on the lid, we used that antiquing stuff for the inside. So that came out really nice. So then we had to go to the next day. So the next day, when we came back to class, we actually mounted everything. And then Kathy said we have to be able to have a crown, because after all, we're wearing their crown well. And when someone has their crown and it's crooked, we straighten it up and help them out and let them wear it proudly again. And then Lois made these beautiful little pins for our pin cushion. So cute. And so we also finished the bottom, because then if you pick it up, it's cute that way too. And then that also sits on the magnet. Oops, there we go. Sits on the magnet too. So now you've got your little box of goodies. You've got your scissors, and you've got your pin cushion and your pins and your pocket. And then the other pre-stitching that we did is, our needle book. This is our cute little needle book, and this is done on 18 count perforated paper. And this is a lot of hand stitching. So here's the front. These two were separate pieces. We had to sew them on. And then this is the back. And it says, how can you say no to a tiara? And then of course my initials. And then when you open it up, I'm gonna be careful not to knot my baker's twine. All right, I think I got it. All right, when you open it up, of course the binding has this beautiful wool right there that we had to also hand sew. Everything was hand sewn. I'm proud of myself because I usually cheat and use the sewing machine. But here's the inside, and that is the entire needle book. Of course, I don't have any needles in it yet because I haven't put any in, but I will. So this was a fun learning project too. And we did the blanket stitch around the outside. We did a basting stitch along the edges. In the inside, I made sure that I didn't go all the way to the back because I wanted the back to look pretty. We did a couple of tacking stitches to have this stay on, and that was our needle book. So now our needle book can go inside our box. So we have this whole little sewing kit that we've made all complete to take with us to any of our next retreats. So I'm very grateful to Kathy Haberman for designing this, and Lois for teaching us all the cute techniques you did. She even gave us a little lesson on how to take the pom-poms apart from the little band. That was a fabulous technique. I had heard people talk about it. I never looked it up on how to do it, so she did a demonstration for all of us, and you see it and you're like, wow, didn't even know it was that simple. So she showed us that too. And I have to say that Lois is quite the character. She is always quick-witted, and she makes the silliest, funniest jokes, and anything you say is cause for her to make another joke. I just love her. She was amazing. There was another lady that works for Lois that made a beautiful quilt. You'll see it in my video. It was a Wear It Well quilt, and she made it as a gift to them. And I have a picture of Lois and Kathy in there with the quilt. And so I'm going to insert the video right here. Enjoy. All right, welcome back. I hope you loved it as much as I do. There was so many things to see. And Lois, she was so sweet. She had some finishing materials that you could purchase, and people went crazy with what she had. And so she came back the next day with lots of our requests for more things. And then Kathy had a really nice trunk show for us, which you probably already saw in my video. And of course, that just sparks interest in shopping. And so I'm going to show you the shopping, and I'm going to tell you how the end of our class ended, because I'm sure you're curious about why I was posing at the end of my video. So I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. But let me show you what we got. So at the retreat, when we first got there, there was a gift at all of our seats, and it was wrapped up in the cellophane. I'm sure it was in the video. And I'm going to show you what was in it. I'll just take out these little treats for my friends. I'll show you those too. So inside of our first cellophane was this little container for your trash. Okay. Then it came with this little plastic chopstick for finishing, for putting in stuffing in your pillows. This was a gift from Lois. And then it had this little waxer in the shape of a crown. And she gave us a white colored pencil. It's a water erasable pencil, so you can write on your fabrics, and then it just washes right off. She gave us a pen and a pencil because she said we'll want to take notes. And then she gave us a little hand sanitizer and some little crown stickers. and then some candies, which I only have a couple of them left because we were there munching the whole time. So that was a really nice gift from Lois. And then we also got the box. It was just a pine wood box before we got started on it, and that was our gift for our finishing piece. And then friends would pass things. I passed around some of my floss drops and floss bling. I passed those around, and in exchange I got this needle minder. It's in the shape of a crown. That's from my sweet friend Jessica. I'm glad she tolerated me teasing her all week. And she's such a peach, I tell you. Then her mom, Bonnie, is so creative. Her mom, Bonnie, is a quilter and crafter, and she made these needle catchers. So she put this magnet here to let you know that you can use it as a needle minder. Okay. And then, oops, there we go. And then she had this cute little crown pin on the top, this sweet little frog. And what it is a little salt shaker that you can, when you're done with your old needles, you can top them in here. And when you drop them here, when it gets full, then you can package them up before you throw them away so that no animals or a garbage man or your children or your own foot, when you're trying to make the trash go down, nobody gets injured. So I love that. She made that for all of us. And then there's another sweet friend who was going around and passing out this cute little heart ornament. And she gave each one of us one. That was very sweet of her. I didn't really get to talk to her because she was just passing them out, and I had gone back to see what I could purchase. And so when I got back, she had just laid one on my table and told me it was there. So that was sweet. And so let's get to the shopping. So here's the funny part. So the way that Lois does it is she'll go around the room from person to person with your stuff, and she'll start tallying up. So she said, pick what you want, take it all to the back, keep it in a pile, and when she comes to you, then she'll ring you up. So that makes it hard because you go, you get a little sack, and the next day she brought more, and you get some more. Before you know it, you have the most. And of course, Jessica and I had to compete in that one too, and I won. Why? Because I had to go spend the most. I don't know if that's the kind of winning you want, but I had so much fun stitching on the 18 count perforated paper that Lois had some of it available for us to purchase, so I bought some more because the ones at Hobby Lobby are 14 count, and I wanted the small. And then, okay, so I bought a lot. I'm just gonna say it. She had a lot of these finishes, and again, please remember, I don't have a needle workshop, so I don't have anywhere to buy this other than online. And this way I could buy it without paying shipping. All right, so I got some licorice chenille, and I'm gonna go through and throw these in here. I got some All Things Vintage and Vintage Rickrack. You can see they look the same, but this one's like a little bit more grungy. And then some licorice mini pom-poms. They're super tiny. Some vintage pom-poms. Some algae. I love that name. It's very variegated. Algae chenille. I know it doesn't look like it in the package, but it's extremely variegated. It's so pretty. And since green's my favorite color, of course I had to have it. And then I got some, whoops, sorry. I got some pink mini palms and some Jack mini palms, of course, because we're finishing for Halloween's right now. And I know this seems like a lot of finishing, but as much finishing as I do, I'm imagining I'll be done with this pretty quickly, and I'll have to buy more anyway, so that's probably why I bought so much. Cuts out on the shipping. All right, so then I got some barn door chenille and thundercloud chenille. Not sure if I'll like doing the chenille, but thought I'd give it a try. Some witchy palms. I love it, so cute. Pumpkin boo, a pretty little lavender colored rickrack. bird's nest. I love this chenille. It's also very variegated. Bird's nest. And that's all the trims. Then she had, and these she swears by. So she had these scissors, okay, and she said she uses them for everything, for paper, for crafting, for everything, and that they are stainless steel and that they glide through adhesives. So I wasn't gonna get scissors. I wasn't intending to get scissors, but after she explained to me how much she loved them and how much she stands by them, of course I felt swayed to purchase them, so of course I did. So that was from Lois. It's a lot, I know. I guess I should be going to Stitchers Anonymous. Hi, my name is Sandy. I have a problem. I like to buy stitching materials. So then, oh, and then there was another thing I'll tell you about in a minute too. All right, let's see. Okay, so then from Hands On Design, a lot of the stuff that was there I already had, so that helped on that purchase, but I bought the Well-Rounded. Now, I couldn't decide if I ever wanted to buy these, because originally when I saw them, I thought the only ones I would be interested in are these ones with the sunflowers. But then I see the models, and like everybody says, you see the model, you want the pattern. So of course I did. I succumbed to the pressure. And then I got this one, which is called My Stitcher's Heart. In my video, I showed you the case. It had all of these things in it. It was amazing in real life. And so then I was like, oh, I never was interested in that before, but I am now. And then I got, this one is Live Within Your Harvest. Again, so beautiful. And I'm not, excuse me, I'm not a gardening person, but I do have sunflowers. I love them. And the model made me buy them, made me do it. And it comes with the velveteen already. And then I got Grown with Love. I thought that one's pretty too. And again, the velveteen comes with it. I also did get Stitch Some Happy. I don't have it with me at the moment because I am packaging it up. I will share more about that in my next floss tube. And then I'll show you the pattern then. So that was what I purchased. And then, whoopsie. Then Lois said, how many of you did Costume Party? Of course, my hand went right up. But she apparently made this little fob. Didn't know anything about it because the day it was announced, I went and ordered all my things right away from all the designers that were included in the group. And I guess later she posted these fobs. And so she said anyone who did Costume Party, she had 10 left over because she always makes extras just in case the mail loses some or damages some. And it didn't, and so she had them left over, and before she offered them up on her Etsy shop, she offered them to us. And of course, I had to have one to go with my costume party. So there's like a little skeleton guy and a little kitty cat, a black cat. He's so cute. And then this cute little crystal pumpkin. I loved it, and of course I'm glad I got it. I didn't know she had offered one, and I guess that's what happens when you have to rush over right away. You might miss out on something. So I did. So those were my things from Wear It Well. Now, there's one more thing about it that I want to share with you, is that the part of, at the end, I had the apron on. Now, because of all the horrible trauma was happening in Florida due to the weather, Kathy Haberman didn't launch her apron auction. So she was going to do an apron auction. Please go to her channel to find out about it. I don't know if the video is still there, but if it's not, keep watching, because her sister, who passed away in the summertime, the story goes, she had a lot of fabric when they were going through her house. They were going to donate it to her other sister's sewing class. And that sister started sewing aprons. I guess she makes all of Kathy Haberman's aprons for her classes. Well, she started making these aprons, and then the two of them started talking, and they wanted to raise money for an organization with the, I'm not sure if it's arthritis. You'll have to look. Her sister was born with the disease, and they wanted to raise money for that foundation. So what she wants to do is she's going to auction them off. I'm not sure when she's doing it. She decided, since Florida was having so much trouble and people were in the process of making donations to that, she did not want to impede on the money going to those people who went through such a tragic situation. And she decided to wait on hers. And so in the future, she's going to do it. But one of the things that we got to do that was a lot of fun is, if we wanted to, we could be a model for the aprons. And the aprons are double-sided. So you got to be the front, and then when you came through, somebody would take it and flip it over and be the inside, or the reverse side, and they would model it. Well, none of us really knew what to expect. We were just told, walk the runway, show the apron off, pose however you do, and we'll see how it turns out. So we did. At the end, we got to come in, and anyone who wasn't in the fashion show were our audience and were clapping for us. And both Kathy and Mr. HOD, they were videotaping us, and they're going to have their son splice it and chop it and make it into a little video. I'm not sure when that's launching, but of course yours truly had to be a part of it, because whatever Kathy wants, I'm happy to oblige. So I wanted to help, plus I think it's for a good cause. So it was all in fun. I had a great time. Definitely something I will always remember. She was amazing. At the end, I was able to give her a big hug, and Lois too, and I hope to end up seeing them again. They were amazing people. They put on a wonderful class, and all of us Californians hope they come back to California again, and I will be the first one to show up and be present for whatever she wants to teach. I would even be willing to watch her teach how to hang toilet paper at this point, because she's amazing, and I was amazed. I hope that I can be a teacher like her in my classroom and always have the kind of patience that she showed in that class. She was truly amazing. So that was my experience at that Wear It Well class, and it makes me want to sign up for all the classes from here on out. Speaking of classes, I don't know if you signed up, but the Jingle Ball is coming. It's $10. You'll have to watch Stephanie Webb on Lindy Stitch's video. She did a little video about it. Kathy Haberman is one of the designers. There's 12 different designers participating. She also did a video. So if you haven't seen those videos, go watch them. Sign up. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's virtual, but we get to, Stitchers connect virtually through different classes. I guess you get to do like stitching tables. I'm not sure how it works. I know it's something like Zoom, but it's not Zoom. And you'll be able to connect with other stitchers during this time. I believe it's December 3rd and 4th. It sounds like a lot of fun. So check it out if you haven't. I'm going. If you see me there or you see me pop into a room, make sure you say hello, because I would like to connect with as many stitchers as I can. All right, so that was Wear It Well. Amazing trip. So much fun. And I'm so grateful that my friends tolerated me in the car ride and spent time with me. It's such a blessing to have friends like that that will go with you and love you even when you're a little bit crazy or a little bit nervous when you're traveling. So thank you, Barbara and PJ, for being my buddies along my travels. And Bonnie and Jessica, thanks for all the laughs. You really made that retreat so much fun. And I believe Erica, I'm glad we got to see you again there as well. And to those who I met, thank you for coming by and making my weekend so much fun. All right, so that brings me to my haul, which I'm gonna see if I can get to. It's in this container. I did buy a little bit, not very much, because of course you saw everything that I purchased from Kathy Haberman and Lois. We did stop at this little antique shop. My husband, while we were there, he was walking around and checking out different places, finding restaurants for us, because we were provided breakfast from the hotel and lunch from Lois and Kathy, and then we were on our own for dinner. So we would go out to dinner each night, and my husband's job was to tour around and find things for us places for us to dine at. And he found a couple of places, shopping too. We didn't get much shopping in, but we did get to go to this cute little antique shop, and there I found this. And I guess it's a twine holder, and then you get these little scissors are attached at the top, and you can undo your twine. The desk people said they use one all the time for wrapping packages. I just thought it'd be cute to set next to some of your stitching finishes. So that's what I'm going to do with it, but I had to have it. I did buy a couple other things. I think I've put them away. I found a couple of wooden spools. Well, Barbara found a couple of wooden spools. She knew I'd been looking. And I was very excited that she found me two. One's red and one's solid, and I hope to use them for a finish. And then I bought, I think I bought a little crow. He's not in this display because I put away my my September pieces, and I had pushed him right into a set of sunflower bouquet, and he looks so cute there. So he's already put away. I'm sorry I can't show you that. But as far as cross-stitch materials, I did pick up, I ordered these when I got back. One is by Lizzie Kate. It's called Fear Less, Hope More. I thought this would make a cute little finish. It's so sweet, and I can think of all the different people whom I care about that this would be a great gift for. So we'll see how many times I stitch it up. Then I had ordered the Heart and Hand Tiny Town Halloween, but then I didn't realize that the little mini piece that you can stitch with it or separately, you can see they did it in a little cube there. I didn't realize it didn't come with the pattern. So of course I had to order it because of course I want to have it with the Tiny Town. And I don't know if I'm going to stitch it with the Tiny Town or separately. When I get to that, I'll let you know. Then I ordered Heart and Hand, Be Kind, because that is my motto, be kind. And I'd never seen this one before, so I went ahead and got it. It'll be a quick stitch. I'll probably stitch it in the springtime. And then finally, I got persuaded. I don't know if you watch Cornhusk State Stitchers. I'll link them below. Anyways, they're going to be doing a stitch along with this Primrose Cottage Stitches Christmas Rules. And I believe they're going to be starting it in the next week or two. I don't know. They were going to be doing something, I think a quilting retreat, and when they get back, they're going to start it. So they said, hurry up and purchase your materials. So I got the piece, and I got, there's two specialty threads. The rest are DMC. Was Gentle Arts Cranberry and Weeks Dye Works Cocoa. Those are the two extra flosses, specialty flosses that you needed for it. So I went ahead and ordered those. So all I need to do is get out some fabric and pull my DMC, and I will be ready to start with them. So I'm going to stitch along with them. I'm not sure how they're breaking it up. I'll be watching for that. So if you want to join, because it'll be fun. We might be able to get it done in time for Christmas if we stick to it. That's the big if. All right, so that was my haul. Didn't have too much, just a little bit. And then I have some, where did I put it? I have some Happy Mail. Let me get my Happy Mail out. This was such a nice surprise when I got home. Where are you? When I got home from this package was, my husband had picked, or not my husband, my mother-in-law who was staying with my kids brought in our mail, and this was waiting for me. So I had opened it up. I think at my SoCal Stitchers retreat, I had gotten an email from Whitney. She's one of my subscribers, and she was asking me for my address. And I was like, oh, sure. She said she had something for me. Wasn't sure what it was, but this arrived, and she made this for me and one for a giveaway. She's so sweet. And I'm so amazed with her talent. She's so talented. So she made this Stitchers, what did she call it? Let's see. Let me read it. It says it in her note. I want to call it what she said it was. It is called a cross stitch case. She made one for me and an extra one to give away. She said I could give them both away if I didn't want to use it, but that's crazy. Of course I'm going to use it. All right, so here it is. Isn't that cute? So it has a little charm with a snowflake, which matches the snowflake print. And look, it's green, my favorite color. And so there's a zipper. You have the clear pouch. You have another pocket that's lined. And then you can open the snaps and look at this. There's a floss bed and a needle holder right there. Is that not amazing? I don't know how she does it. I don't know how to make these, and I've always wanted to learn. So now I don't have to worry about trying to rush to learn because she gifted this to me. That was so sweet. Thank you, Whitney. So I will have one to give away today. Here it is. Got two of a kind. So I will have that in the giveaway portion, but I wanted to show you that. And thank you again, Whitney, so much for your kindness. I don't know if Whitney sells them. But if you put in the comments, maybe she'll comment and let you know. And if you don't, maybe I can ask her if you ask me. I did just find something I wanted to show you. At Hands On Design, we were gifted at the end a gift from Lois and a gift from Kathy Haberman. Now this is a coming soon project. It's not out yet. And Kathy said I could share it, so I'm sharing it. So Lois made us a pumpkin waxer. And the pumpkin waxer goes with this design, and it's called Autumn Calls. And if you had watched my video, you would have seen it set up. It was on a tray with 3 different size pumpkin waxers. So that was very sweet. That was our gift at the very end. Kathy said that her mom raised her that you should always give people a parting gift. I thought that's a cute little lesson. I've never taught my children that. But I like that. I like the incentive idea. All right, so that brings me to my giveaways this time. So I have 4 because you just saw one of them. All right, so here they are. The first one is, you'll see this in January. I've stitched it, so I'm passing the stitch, and it is called Snowman Button Sampler. So I stitched it on blue. I brightened it up. When I got it, it did not come with buttons, but these are little snowman buttons in the corners. So I picked up some at Hobby Lobby, and I changed it to brighten it up because it seemed a little dark. And so the keyword for this one is button. So if you're interested in stitching this cute little snowman sampler, the keyword is button. Then the next one, I have these pieces from JBW's. And this is Candy Cane Pockets. And the keyword for Candy Cane Pockets is skating, because of the little ice skates. Skating. So if you're interested in this one, please use skating in your comment. And the next one is also by JBW Designs, Little Green Sleds. And the keyword for this one is stocking, which is this one right here. So again, that's stocking. And then for Whitney's beautiful cross-stitch case, I love this so much. Please say snowflake, snowflake, so that you have a chance to win this case. And that way I can send it on to you. All right, so 4 giveaways today. That's a lot. That makes up for not doing one last week, I think. But so I want you to use those words in the comment, the keywords. And I want you to answer this question. So here is, we're coming on November. A lot of you may be doing a Friendsgiving. You might be going to family for Thanksgiving. It's a time to enjoy the season, enjoy your family, love those who are around you, even if they're not family, because friends are the next door kind of family. So we're going to be doing a lot of dinners. So I wanted to find out, what is your favorite side dish? Now this could be a dish you have on Thanksgiving dinner, or it could just be a dish you like to take to dinners that you're invited to. So for me, we have a dish. It's a green bean. It's not the green bean casserole that everybody makes. It's a special kind of green beans with French cut green beans. My grandmother, actually I think before her mother made them a certain way where she sauteed them, and each generation from there on has added an ingredient to it. And my ingredient that I added to mine was I added some fresh chopped garlic and some chopped onion to it. So it's a very warm dish. It's not cold or anything. And I usually serve it at big dinners when I know lots of people are coming. That's a side dish I usually make. It's very delicious. So what is your favorite side dish to bring? I'm going to a Friendsgiving with my Stitchy friends, and I'm going to be making a pumpkin cheesecake pie, but I want to bring a side dish as well. And I'm debating on whether or not to make a salad or a side dish. So give me some ideas. Tell me what your favorites are. And if one sounds intriguing, I will look it up, and maybe I'll take that to Friendsgiving and let you know how it turned out. So I don't know. But that's it for my channel today. I'm so grateful that you're here. And until next time, I would like to ask you to be courageous, be confident, be creative, but please be kind. And I'll see you next time. Bye.